Karen shot my service dog in rage. Too bad, I'm a member of Congress, and she's going down. Imagine returning home to find your beloved service dog, a trained companion, shot by an enraged neighbor who then tries to blame you. How far would you go to seek justice, especially when you hold a position of significant power? The quiet hum of my home office, nestled in the serene outskirts of Capitol Hill, was usually a welcome respite from the chaos of Washington, D.C. My faithful companion, Charlie, a magnificent golden retriever with soulful eyes and an unflappable demeanor, lay patiently at my feet. Charlie wasn't just a pet. He was my highly trained service dog, assisting me, Representative Evelyn Reed, with mobility and providing invaluable emotional support through the relentless pressures of my congressional duties. Our property, the Havenwood Retreat, a modest estate with sprawling gardens, was a sanctuary for us both, clearly demarcated by a tasteful, low stone wall and mature hedges. Then came Karen, not with a constituent request, but with the chilling sound of a gunshot. I was on a conference call, discussing critical legislation, when a sharp, sickening crack echoed from my backyard. Charlie, who had been resting peacefully, let out a pained yelp. My blood ran cold. I rushed outside, heart pounding, to find Charlie whimpering, a red stain spreading on his golden fur. And there, standing a few feet away, a smoking pistol in her trembling hand, was Brenda Albright, the notoriously volatile president of the Havenwood Heights HOA, high-end gated community that bordered my property. "Oh, for heaven's sake, Evelyn!" Brenda shrieked, her face contorted with a grotesque mix of fear and irrational rage. "Your dog was barking. It's a menace. It's constantly disturbing the peace and lowering property values. I warned you about its incessant yapping. I had no choice. It was an aggressive animal, threatening my personal space. This is a clear violation of our HOA's noise ordinance and animal control covenants. You are a negligent owner, and I demand you have this beast removed from the premises immediately or face extreme penalties." The main conflict, audacious and utterly monstrous, was laid bare. Brenda, armed with a gun, a profound delusion of authority, and an inexplicable rage, had shot my service dog, then attempted to justify her heinous act with ludicrous HOA covenants and outright lies, all while blaming me for her crime. Her demands were not only illegal, but rooted in a profound disdain for animal welfare and a pathological sense of entitlement, treating Charlie's mere existence as a personal affront to her luxury lifestyle. Her attitude was one of blatant contempt, believing her personal preferences granted her the right to commit violence and impose rules on sovereign land, even though I and my property were not part of her HOA. I knelt beside Charlie, my hands trembling as I tried to assess his wound. "Brenda," I choked out, my voice raw with grief and disbelief. "You just shot my service dog. You are a lunatic. This is attempted murder of a federally protected animal. You will regret this." I immediately called 911, my mind racing through protocols, justice, and the agonizing fear for Charlie. Brenda, however, scoffed, dropping the pistol and crossing her arms. "Attempted murder? Don't be melodramatic, Evelyn. It's just a dog, and it was threatening me. I'm a respected community leader, and I have the right to defend myself and my property against nuisances. You'll be lucky if I don't sue you for creating a public disturbance." Her tone was chillingly arrogant, her eyes holding a glint of perverse pleasure, as if she relished the thought of ruining my reputation, even as Charlie whimpered in pain. As the sirens wailed in the distance, Brenda's audacity escalated into a direct, shocking act of evidence tampering. With a quick, furtive glance around, she pulled a small, bloody piece of raw meat from her pocket and tossed it near Charlie's mouth, attempting to make it look like he had been attacking her or something she was holding. Then, she quickly rearranged some nearby patio furniture, trying to create the impression of a struggle. This was no mere act of violence. It was a deliberate, calculated attempt to manipulate the crime scene and frame Charlie and me for her brutal actions. Right after Brenda's act of violence and brazen cover-up, a crucial twist unfolded from an unexpected source. My chief of staff, Ben Carter, a former Secret Service agent with a meticulous eye for detail, had been working from my home office that morning. Hearing the gunshot and my shout, he immediately activated the estate's extensive high-definition security camera system, which included both audio and visual recording, and a specialized pet cam on Charlie's collar that recorded his vitals and a 360-degree view. He rushed out, his face grim. "Congresswoman," he yelled, "I got it all." Every second, his security camera footage, shockingly clear, showed Brenda's deliberate aim, the gunshot, Charlie's fall, and then Brenda's panicked attempt to stage the scene, dropping the meat and rearranging the furniture. Charlie's pet cam footage, recovered instantly, showed his calm demeanor leading up to the shot, no aggression, merely lying down, and then the sudden impact. The larger consequence of Brenda's actions became terrifyingly clear. Charlie wasn't just my service dog. He was also the mascot and key therapy animal for a national nonprofit, Pause for Progress, which provided emotional support and companionship to veterans suffering from PTSD and severe anxiety. He regularly visited Walter Reed Medical Center, a beloved figure to countless recovering soldiers. Her deliberate act of violence against him wasn't just a petty act of animal cruelty. It directly jeopardized a critical national mental health initiative, threatening the well-being of vulnerable veterans and potentially depriving countless soldiers of vital therapy. Her petty vendetta had escalated into a direct assault on the welfare of heroes, elevating her personal malice to a matter of profound humanitarian and military significance. Armed with Ben's irrefutable video footage, Charlie's petcam data, the furious director of Pause for Progress, and my own burning desire for justice, I was done being patient. When the local police, along with an ambulance for Charlie, finally arrived, Brenda was already in full performance mode, sobbing theatrically and pointing at me. "Officers, thank goodness. This woman's vicious animal attacked me. I had no choice but to defend myself." "Actually, Ms. Albright," I retorted, my voice cutting through her theatrics, amplified by the news cameras that had just pulled up, having been tipped off by Pause for Progress and a national wire service. "Your defense is about to become an arrest for felony animal cruelty, reckless endangerment, and attempted obstruction of justice." I then projected Ben's security camera footage and Charlie's petcam data onto a large, portable screen. The raw, unedited video of Brenda's malicious acts played for all to see. Her deliberate aim, the gunshot, Charlie's innocent posture, Brenda's panic cover-up, and her blatant lies to 911. The officers looked aghast, and the assembled news crew gasped. Brenda's face went from feigned distress to utter, white-faced terror. "That's manipulated. That man is a lunatic. This is a malicious attack on my character and the HOA's integrity," she shrieked, desperately trying to manipulate the situation, her voice shrill and breaking. She started pointing fingers, trying to blame Ben, me, anyone but herself. Just as her tirade reached its peak, the silence was shattered by the distinct wail of additional sirens. More local police vehicles, but also a sleek black SUV marked FBI, Public Corruption Unit, pulled up. Out of the lead vehicle stepped a grim-faced special agent, followed by a representative from the Department of Justice, DOJ, Civil Rights Division, and the furious director of Pause for Progress. The DOJ representative spoke first, his voice cold and cutting. "Ms. Albright, your actions represent not only a heinous act of animal cruelty, but a direct attack on a federally protected service animal and the person it assists. This is a severe civil rights violation, carrying significant penalties." The FBI special agent stepped forward. "And Ms. Albright, we've also been investigating reports of widespread financial irregularities within the Havenwood Heights HOA, specifically regarding the fraudulent collection of security and beautification fees and the diversion of HOA funds to shell corporations ostensibly for community enhancement projects. Your documented acts of violence, attempted obstruction of justice, and the systematic harassment of local residents, including a sitting member of Congress, align perfectly with these ongoing investigations. Furthermore, we have evidence of significant sums of HOA funds being diverted to offshore accounts linked to your shell corporations, ostensibly for development projects that never materialized." A nervous murmur rippled through the gathered Havenwood Heights residents, who had followed the commotion, as one stammered to the FBI agent. She told us the security fees were for our new, gated private park. We had no idea the money was going to her husband's secret accounts." It was a chilling revelation, Brenda wasn't just a busybody. She was a criminal mastermind, systematically defrauding her own members, attempting to seize local influence through illegal means, and exploiting her position for massive personal profit, with the nuisance complaints merely a cover for her grand scheme. A past incident, whispered among her former colleagues, revealed that Brenda had been previously involved in a high-profile white-collar crime investigation in another state. The consequences for Brenda Albright were immediate and utterly devastating. She was arrested by the FBI and local police on multiple charges, including federal offenses for animal cruelty, civil rights violations, obstruction of justice, felony assault, and later, as the full extent of the fraud was uncovered, for massive embezzlement, wire fraud, and racketeering. The Havenwood Heights HOA was placed under immediate federal oversight, its assets frozen, and a full forensic audit exposed tens of millions in stolen funds, a systematic scheme orchestrated by Brenda and her network. Her carefully cultivated image as the benevolent community leader shattered into irreparable pieces. The HOA residents she had once intimidated and defrauded now turned on her, furious at being manipulated and exploited, their HOA funds stolen, and their properties facing legal battles due to her criminal actions. Her social circles, built on an illusion of wealth and influence, abandoned her completely, unwilling to be associated with such public disgrace. Her vast real estate holdings, her fortune, her status, her perceived power all confiscated as part of the ongoing investigation and subsequent lawsuits. She lost everything: her freedom, her fortune, and her reputation. The ultimate irony was that her audacious attempt to harm my service dog and blame me for her crime led to the complete unraveling of her vast, illegal enterprise, culminating in a lengthy federal prison sentence. As for Charlie, he made a full recovery, a testament to his resilience and the swift action of the emergency vets. His story, and the swift justice that followed, became a national headline, drawing even more support for Pause for Progress and highlighting the importance of service animals. The satisfaction was immense, watching her literal and figurative empire crumble before her eyes, a quiet triumph of justice and compassion over arrogant cruelty and rampant criminality. What's your take on this? When someone so brazenly abuses power, engages in such shocking violence against a service animal, attempts to obstruct justice, and defrauds an entire community, does their complete and utter downfall, even to federal prison, truly serve justice? Or is there a point where the consequences become too extreme?